Evening all, and welcome back to Factory Town. So, between last episode and this one, I have expanded the fields here. See there. I've also used up all the herbs that are in there. I put them in the base just to move them out of the way, so I've got some spare land. And our trees are cutting back, so we've extended our conveyor belt, our chute a bit there. The other change as well is I put a barn in here for stone storage, and got people doing that, so the barn could auto output. That's just to let me use my wagons elsewhere. But you'll see we're getting a backup here. We have a backup to our grain mill because it can't produce any more animal feed because the animal feed is full. I even switched this over to putting fertilizer directly into the base. So we're going to have wool and animal feed stored here. But yeah, this has come to a halt because I need somewhere to use my wool before I can actually get things going. So in order to expand the farm any further, I need to empty that barn out to get things going. But also, you'll notice the farm is out of water. This one well, although the well can, the worker can't keep up with it. I'd have to assign another worker to make sure the farm can keep up with the well, which isn't ideal. It's not really what I want to do. I'd much rather get an actual water source going on there, so we might have a look at that. But I do need to clear this area out first before I do that, because that's not where the farm should stay. The farm should go over here somewhere, but we'll look at trying to get a water source up here somehow. Might have to dig like a canal up or something. Not too sure with that one. Oh, the other thing I've done as well is I've swapped this back over to being stone coming from the base now, so we're getting more red coins in. The reason I want more red coins is because I need to do some more work. I need to get some conveyor belts to speed things up, to use less workers on things. Conveyor belts are where we need to go. So I'm going to set that going, and that will also allow us to use our wool, because conveyor belts are used in the making of wool, and I think we'll probably put that in there, get some conveyor belt thing going in there. That would be quite useful. So this is obviously very slow going with the workers. I'm going a long way off before we actually get anything to quickly take stone away. There are a lot of resources, so I'm probably going to just delete a lot of these along here if I want to move things. Probably the best way of doing things. But I mean, I do want to obviously do forestry as well, but for the moment we're doing okay for our wood. These are keeping up quite nicely with the wood supply, so let's stick with that for the moment. I'm going to rotate this one around, and we're going to grab another workshop. In fact, we need two workshops. Can I get two workshops in there? I'll make it very, very cramped if I do. Quite awkward to get into. If I do it this way, I'm going to block the path. Really haven't thought things through here. No. Okay. So rather than doing it in there, because that's just not going to work, what if we did put it on this side of the path? I could remove that workshop for the time. Oh, in fact, I don't even need to remove that workshop. I can leave that workshop there, and we can use this one for it. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. So you are to create cloth, which means I need another worker. You need to take wool and put it in there. Very simple, backwards and forwards. Yeah, right. And you will create cloth, okay? And then once our research is done, which is going pretty quickly, we were completely full on paper. The paper's now a bit of a has dropped. So yeah, we'll have another workshop next to this. And let's build that now. Why not? Yeah, I'll put it right next to it. Why not? Why not? Like so. And we'll put a chute in there. which nope, will not auto output. Okay, so cloth must be done via a person. That's fine. That's not a problem. But you can see now this is going. Now we're getting the fertilizer and wool going down in here. We're going to end up, well, sorry, the wool and animal feed. We're going to end up with more fertilizer, which means we can expand the farm to make it go faster. So it's a sort of knock-on effect in all it's going. Okay, there we go. Basic research complete. Basic logistics. We have unlocked a one-way structure. We've unlocked a barrier gate and a conveyor belt, and that's the important one. The conveyor belt is the important one. That's here. A cloth conveyor belt requires cloth, wheels, stone brick to make a conveyor belt, which is typical. I just turned off my my wheel production, which is typical. Yep. Okay. Okay. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. What we'll do is we'll grab. Oh, I can't grab any more workers. I don't have any more people. We'll put down some more houses. 2 more houses there. There you are. And we'll grab a single worker, and we will tell this worker if this works, because it's not something I've had success with previously. If normally you can drag and click, so I could say put cloth into there or put this into there. If you just go here, you see down the bottom it says supply workshop with all. So if I click that, I believe he will then go around and he will grab 1 cloth, 1 wheel, 1 stone brick, and then 1 cloth, 1 wheel, 1 stone brick, and go round and round in circles, I believe. Oh, in fact, what he's going to do is he'll grab 1 of each, and then he grabs another wheel, by the looks of it. And because the resources are close by, that means it works. It will grab it there. It wouldn't really work if the resources are far away. That wouldn't particularly work all that well. And this will only work temporarily because we don't have that many wheels, but it's okay. Don't need that many wheels for the time being. Just want to get a couple of cloth conveyor belts and maybe make a space for them in here. Let's do that one. Okay, you are going to be cloth conveyor belt. There we go. Okay. And I suppose we'll grab another worker for the moment. And say you take the conveyor belts and put them in the base. Okay, and there we are. We have them. Awesome. Now, conveyor belts are just like chutes, but they can go up and they can go down. Well, chutes can go down as well, but they can go up hills, and they can also move any tier of item. That makes sense. So what I can do here is it wouldn't work for this pasture. The conveyor belts, where you've got the green arrow, it will take out any item and just move it along. That wouldn't work for this one because it will take out the wool and the fertilizer. And I want the fertilizer to go one way and the wool to go another. You can do that with some logic blocks, but I don't have the grabbers or pullers for that yet. So we shan't use it there, but instead we can use it here. We can use it. Let's grab a conveyor belt. Now I want to put these on the bottom row because they are something you use quite a lot of. So to add them to this bar down here, you simply have the item ready to build. So you have it in your, you go to the build menu, you pick what you want to build, so you're in the world ready to place it down, and you hold shift and press the number you want. So if I say 5, it becomes number 5 down here on the action bar. Makes life a lot easier. If we put it that way and did that, that will take cloth and always supply this with cloth. And now I believe because this has a supply of cloth, this worker will automatically go, well, I don't need to give it cloth now, I just need to give it wheels and stone. So, you know, they're quite smart like that. The programming's done very well for them there. So, that's awesome. That is awesome. We are, of course, going to run out of wooden wheels. That's a bit of a problem. And the main reason behind that is because obviously our lumber mill is feeding, our wood is feeding 2 lumber mills. and the second mill isn't getting any wood. By the looks of it, not getting a lot of wood. Okay. So how do we fix that? Well, we could go into a bit of forestry over here, I suppose. Get that going. Would require us moving things around a bit, because we can't really put it down on the coast, which is fine though, because I don't really want it on the coast. I would much rather have all my houses along the coast, I think. But then I kind of have built them here. I might leave the houses there, I think, and build maybe nothing on the coastline, just have a clear coastline and build everything that side of the base. So that might be an idea. Yeah, but I need to clear out a lot of these resources. Obviously, wood's going down there. We are getting some weird things going on here of workers going crazy. That's because I have 4 workers, and if all 4 try to get the conveyor at once, or these chutes at once, they can't. There's only 3 places to get to it. So sometimes the pathing goes a bit nuts and they end up wandering all around. Not a big problem. Not really a big problem at all. Right, so we now have more fertilizer coming in. Yes, we do. Which means I can expand the farm. But yes, the water supply on the farm isn't working. As I said, I could fix this by putting in another worker and telling this worker to also put water into the farm like that. And that would be enough to supply it. But then when I fill this whole field up all the way, I think I need 4 workers to make it work. And I'm not entirely convinced. Well, I think the well can keep up with that, but it's not very efficient having 4 workers. Maybe you could have a cart doing it, but I'd much rather have a solid water source down here. And I would like water back here as well. Anyway, so I think I need to do that. Let's have a look at getting water back here somehow. Going to involve terraforming. And it's going to involve getting rid of a lot of trees, I think. Because I can bring the water in along here. And down there. Luckily, water sort of follows the Minecraft rules of once you get a small supply and you expand it, it's kind of infinite. Which is a really good thing. Really, really good thing. Right. Let me grab our tools. And I want the flattened down option. I'm going to put this on my action bar at 7 because it's something I use a lot as well. I can't flatten down trees or the herbs, which does make sense. So we're going to have to remove them. And I think we've got to remove a 3-way gap. Which is a little annoying. Maybe we don't have to. Maybe we can just think you can just flatten it down. So basically, the flatten tool, the idea behind it is the flattened down. You have train block up and train block down. They are self-explanatory. They just build dirt up and dirt down, dig holes or build up. You may think we'd want to dig down for this one, which does make sense if you're sort of doing it that way. But then you've got the flatten up and flatten down. Flatten up means it will build up ground to the level you select. So if I was to choose the ground here and then go out, it would build it up to this level. And flatten down does the opposite. It builds down there. So I want to do flatten down because I want a river or a canal. So that's the tool we want to be using there. Remove resources, obviously resources. Destroy block and destroy block layer are the same sort of thing, but the block layer it's only matches the first object you take, whereas that one just destroys everything, I think. So yeah, right. So flatten down. Let's go here, which is 1 block below the dirt. And let's just dig. We can in fact dig in under. We can drop the herbs down. Awesome. Even seems to work under the stone, which is excellent. And there you go. We have a canal. We have a canal. Awesome sauce. Look at that. I mean, that's not bad. I could leave the canal in actually and just build over it. So, but you can obviously just fill it up again. You can use the flat down tool also works if you're on a higher level. It will just lower everything to that level. You can just do that, and that will block it all off. So I could, in theory, see the water going absolutely mad. So. Okay, and some very bizarre reason. Oh, there we go. And you went down again. There we go. And you never know I've been there, other than the absolute devastation of the grass. Back to dirt, sand. But we have a small canal. I could have left that in there and just bridged over it. We might do that later. Might look quite nice. But I have a water supply here. The best way I've found of getting water to a farm, in fact, I want to actually move this water supply because that farm. Let's move this over here a little bit. Yeah, right. Water levels, different heights there. I'm not sure why, but the best way to get it I found is to put in a small block behind the farm, and then you can put a scaffold block over it and place fields down. So that works. So if we get rid of these two workers and this well. We're also going to get rid of these farm blocks here, so remove those. We will drag in with our farm all the way to the back there, and then we'll just lop it off. And it's got a tiny amount of water in it. It is pretty tiny and doesn't look fantastic, but it should. It's not going to supply the farm yet. There we go. Now that's supplying the farm. Awesome. Right. I think that's too thin. Is that too thin? No, that's not too thin. Because that's what you need. It's a 2x3 size. It looks a bit weird. I mean, it can fill up high with water. But as long as you get a 2x3 back there, then you're fine. It will supply the farm with water all the time. Now it's getting a constant supply of water. And if you go and grab the scaffold blocks in here, you can place them over the top, so. And then you can put farms on top of them, so you don't use any, don't lose any space at all. Which is awesome. You can also, with conveyor belts and grabbers, have the chutes higher, so you can gain space there as well. But we're not at that stage yet. I think the farm can go out one more there, so I'm going to move that water resource over to there. Copy that. There we go. Boom. And that is the farm at sort of maximum efficiency. That's what a standard farm would run at maximum. You lose one place for the chutes coming out, but you can do everything there. As I said, later you can replace that if you've got chutes and grabbers, but and you can see that is producing enough grain to feed our animal feed and our grain mill quite successfully, which is awesome. And we have a supply of water back here. So as long as I never fill that in, I can move that around and do other things, bits and pieces. That's quite good. I may well play with the whole canal thing. I kind of like the idea of that. You are starting to get a bit stupid, really. Let's be honest. So let's tell you to drop your wood in there, and you can help grab the apples from there. Okay. Yeah. Right. So you have run out of stone to give to there because you are out of stone to actually put in there, which means we're out of stone brick. That's a problem. We need to stop that, because we will need stone brick to build things, so I need to let that build up a little bit. How much stone do we have in the base? Loads. Absolutely loads. Let's take some stone out. It's difficult finding a balancing act for this sort of thing. It is quite difficult. But making sure you're getting to the right thing. Now, of course, I could turn this cart off, actually. Now, I could stop this cart. And what I can do instead is I can put conveyor belts in here, and the stone will come out and go into this barn. Yes, there you go. The stone will come out and go into this barn. So if I set the bottom two to be stone, and stone, yes, and then set the top two to be stone brick, you to head out to there. Right, what I want to do is I want to stop that. You can do that with all buildings. All buildings that have workers in, if you drop them down to 0, they will just stop production. It gives you a worker back as well. If you're really tight for them, you can sort of manage that. You can turn it down, put a worker in, get things going, and turn it on later. It's quite useful if you're over abundant with resources. So, like for instance, at the moment I've got, well, I'm doing okay. I've got plenty of wood, bits and pieces of that. Nothing's major, but if my logs started getting ridiculously high, I could turn my forester off or my lumber mill off, that sort of thing. So, and I wanted to empty them out so that I can put in a filter on that. Let's say that's stone brick as well. Okay, so you can stop. You can speed up again. Okay. Right. Now I do have to be careful to make sure I don't run out of stone here completely, because I still do need stone. That is an important thing. But this whole process here for the conveyor belts has actually come to a stop because we run out of wheels. So we need to sort that out. We need to get a lumber yard going and a forestry yard going. I'm thinking of doing that over here. Might be a good idea. I'm going to let these all use up these trees here. And then once they're done, we will switch over to a lumber yard up here. I might also grab all this grain here as well. Not that we really need it. Now we have a farm running at full capacity, or almost full capacity. If I actually add all the workers set, the 5 workers, it's 619% speed, which is pretty damn awesome. You can get it a bit higher with more fields in there, and more happiness, obviously. Happiness overall increases things. So, but I can drop that down to 1 worker now, and that will be well enough to run everything that's currently going. So, yeah. Alright, I think we'll just remove that grain there. We don't need it. We'll remove the grain. And the herbs as well. The herbs we will need at some point, but farms, you see, they can make grain, sugar, or apples. And later on, they can also become herb farms as well when you unlock medicine. So, or at least it did. I don't know if they still do. Things have changed. I might be wrong on that occasion. I don't know. But let's go into a forester. Let's build a forester. Foresters produce wood without depleting forests. You see the angle that is turning yellow when you mouse over, you get inside certain areas. That's what it wants. It wants trees. It wants lots and lots of trees. The more trees it has, the better it works. The better pretty much everything is for it. So like there would be an ideal place to put it, or there. But I'm going to put it up here. You can plant trees. I think I can even do that now. I think that unlocks with the forester. So what I might do is cut out some trees there and put in the forester there. Okay, and he just literally chops trees without using the trees. And just like the farm, his farm tiles are trees. So the more trees he has, the better everything is, really. That's sort of how it works. So I'm going to grab another barn and put it, I was going to say sort of there, I'm not sure. Structural blocks. Tree, there we go. So tree goes down to there, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 away. So I don't want to do anything. 3, 4, 5, 6. If I put it there, that should be on the edge of the tree planting area. Yep, there we go. It's not covering any trees. Awesome. And if I say you are to put a chute like that, okay, and that will just fill that barn with wood. That barn I'm going to dedicate to logs. Boom, there we go. Barn is dedicated to logs. Awesome. So I'm going to grab you and I'm going to say take your logs out and put it over there. So we've got logs going over to the barn. Of course, logs can then become planks, and we need planks for, well, everything. So now we have a supply of logs. We need to turn them into planks, and then we need to turn those planks into wheels, because we need wheels for our conveyor belts. So let's have a look see here. If I grab a lumber mill, put it there, I think this can all be automated. I don't think I'm going to need any workers to come over here, so I'm not worried about blocking up the tiles. I'm going to put in a chute, but I'm going to do it in precision mode because it might not go the right way. So there you go, and you will then start producing planks. Awesome. I'm not going to put those planks in a barn. Instead, we're going to grab a workshop and put that right next to it. And then I don't believe we can do this with chutes. Nope, chutes will not work here. So we need a conveyor belt. That's a good job we've unlocked those. And you'll put that in there and you will then produce wheels, which is awesome. I have no idea why you are... because we've told him to automatically grab the resources required, he knows that workshop produces wheels, so he's already gone for it, which is awesome. So yeah, he's automatically gone for it. He knows that stonemason will have stone in it, but he's not being smart enough to realise it's actually going into the barn, not into the stonemason, so he's waiting, and he won't get any that way. Okay, that's not the smartest of things, but well, we can't do everything. Okay, so I'm going to have to tell you to grab stone brick, grab stone brick, put it in there, okay. I need to move this barn, but I don't want to lose all the coal that's in it, so let's grab another wagon. Oh, we can't afford a wagon, we don't have enough wheels. Which does sort of make sense. I suppose I could do with making a barn for the wheels, I think. There's a nice sort of condensed way you can do this. Have a workshop into a barn, then the cloth into a barn, and then another workshop create, and it's sort of works quite nicely, but I'm not really sure that's what I want to do here. Yeah. Right. You're still doing okay? Yeah. Everything's there. Sorry, I was just having a look at why my workers sort of stood around doing nothing, and I can't figure out why. Why? What were you people doing? Right, you're doing that. You don't apparently have an assignment, and neither do you. So I bet you and you were grabbing. You're waiting for a workshop. You run out of trees. Oh, you've all run out of trees. That's cool. We'll remove the conveyor belts now. We will obviously still need them for things later on, but I think I might move the schoolhouse as well. I might have the lumberyard. like a water source down here and do it. I'm not too sure. We need to basically just clear out these resources here, which means I need a lot of stone and I need a lot of other bits and pieces. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set these workers that were not doing anything onto stone. You can do it as well. I think one of you was actually producing food to go into there, wasn't you? And I'm going to say you can grab a stone here as well. Go on. Let's clear out all that stone. So I think I'm going to have to sort of stop this process here for this episode, and what I might do is I may just leave the game running for a bit and clear all this stone out, which is going to take quite a while. I think it's going to take quite a while to do. We've got a bit of iron there and some trees. Trees are okay. It's just right at the moment we do kind of need stone. Stone is something we're struggling a little bit for. We've obviously taken this stone out here and putting stone in the basin and taking it to there. That's fine. You have loads of stone in you, but you need wheels. And you're taking planks and putting them in the basin. You're going to run out very soon, so I can then sort out these lumber mills as well. Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. Get the coast up. So let's grab one more worker. Say you grab wheels in there. Okay. And I think I might stop my forester temporarily so that this base can empty out of logs. I will leave that first tile locked onto wood so it stays there. But I think all the wood will be going into this barn here. This is going to be our primary storage because it does get used for construction as well. The reason I'll leave it locked on there is because when you remove things like roads or anything that uses wood, it always goes back to the base. It doesn't go into barns, it will go into the base. And I think if you don't have enough space, it will actually get deleted. So yeah, it's a good idea to leave some basic resources locked into there. But yeah, I think we'll leave this doing its thing here. And you can making your rounds and doing your bits and pieces, and we will eat through pretty much all this stone, so I'm going to leave this running for quite a while, and we'll come back in the next episode and carry on figuring out a nice efficient way to make our cloth conveyor belts, which I think is just going to basically involve moving the pasture over to here and having it all sort of flow nicely. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope to see you again next time, and until then, as always, have fun.